Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the secret behind some of the ocean's most incredible creatures, a tiny, powerful molecule that gives them their amazing color and almost superhuman strength. So, have you ever stopped to wonder how a salmon finds the raw power to swim upstream for miles and miles against the current? Well, the answer is actually hiding in plain sight. It's in the very molecule that gives them that iconic pinkish red color, a real antioxidant powerhouse called astaxanthin. So in this explainer, we're going to cover what astaxanthin actually is, and then we'll get into the big problem it tackles, something we're calling the body's silent fire. Then we'll look at how it fights back, zero in on its really exciting role in diabetes, and wrap it all up with a good, balanced look at the science. Okay, so let's dive right in. First things first, what exactly is this stuff? You'll often hear it called the king of carotenoids. Well, it belongs to the same family of compounds that gives carrots their orange color. But astaxanthin has this really unique structure that makes it an incredible protector for our cells. It's kind of like a supercharged version. And you know, the source is pretty amazing. It all starts with microalgae. When tiny creatures like shrimp and krill eat this algae, the astaxanthin builds up. Then it works its way right up the food chain to fish like salmon and trout, which is what gives them that famous pink flush. Okay, so now that we've got a handle on what astaxanthin is, let's talk about the major problem it seems to be built to fight: chronic inflammation. Now, we all know some inflammation is good, right? Like when you sprain an ankle and it swells up, that's your body rushing in to heal itself. But chronic inflammation? That's a whole different beast. It's more like a low-grade fire that's just smoldering in the background, day in and day out, silently causing damage over time. And this really gets to the core of the issue. When you have a condition like diabetes, high blood sugar creates this constant storm of what's called oxidative stress. This unleashes these nasty little molecules called free radicals that just go on the attack, damaging our cells, especially those all-important insulin-producing beta cells in the pancreas. This constant assault is what fuels that silent fire. So with that big problem in mind, how does astaxanthin actually step in and fight back? Well, it's got this really clever two-pronged attack. What's so fascinating about this is that it delivers a 1-2 punch. It doesn't just do one thing. On one side, it acts as this powerful antioxidant, basically doing cleanup duty on all those free radicals. And on the other, it's an anti-inflammatory, actively telling the body's overactive alarm system to just calm down. Let's break that down a bit. So first, it mops up those existing free radicals that are causing damage. Second, it gets in there and flips the off switch on inflammation's master controller, a protein called NF-kappa B. And by doing that, it cuts off the chemical messages that tell the body to keep sounding the alarm. It's basically telling the fire department, hey, it's a false alarm, you can stand down. And the research really backs this up. The key thing to remember, as this quote highlights, is that its real power is in stopping that whole inflammatory chain reaction right at the source, before it has a chance to spiral out of control. Okay, so we've got the mechanism. Now, let's connect the dots and get to our main focus. What does the actual evidence say about astaxanthin's role when it comes to diabetes? So the research points to 3 major potential benefits. First, it seems to help protect the body's little insulin factories, those pancreatic beta cells, from the damage caused by high blood sugar. Animal studies also suggest it might improve insulin sensitivity, which helps the body use the insulin it makes much more effectively. And all of this could help lower the risk of those serious long-term complications in the kidneys and eyes. And what's really exciting is that human trials are starting to show these kind of benefits too. For example, look at that 2018 study. They found that just 8 milligrams a day helped people with type 2 diabetes not only improve glucose metabolism, but also lower their triglycerides. And that 2022 study is fascinating. It actually found that astaxanthin works with metformin, a really common diabetes drug, to boost its antioxidant effects. That's a huge deal. This quote really just says it all, doesn't it? By going after the oxidative stress that high blood sugar creates, astaxanthin seems to be targeting one of the root causes of the damage and dysfunction we see in diabetes. So we've seen some pretty exciting potential here, but now it's absolutely crucial that we take a step back and put all of this into perspective. What do we know for sure, and where do we still need more answers? And this slide really gives us the perfect snapshot. On the one hand, the evidence for its power as an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, especially for metabolic health, is getting really compelling. But on the other hand, let's be realistic, it's not a magic bullet. For things like exercise performance or carpal tunnel, the jury is very much still out. And this might be the single most important takeaway. Even with all these promising studies, science has not yet landed on a standard one-size-fits-all dose. So, like with any supplement, it is absolutely essential to talk with your doctor or a healthcare professional before you even think about starting it. So we'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. As we learn more and more about that deep connection between chronic inflammation and so many modern diseases, you have to ask the question, could nature's most powerful antioxidants, things like astaxanthin, be a really critical piece of our health toolkit moving forward? The science is still unfolding, and it's going to be fascinating to watch.